Welcome back, chums. Today, as expected, we have a patch for Cyberpunk 2077, that being patch 221 for Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5 and PC. It's expected being that the new 50 series Nvidia GPUs have been announced, and as CDPR and Nvidia have a long partnership, it's expected that new features or update to existing tech like DLSS 4 will be included. Keep in mind that there is no way for me to test DLSS 4 right now, as I'm waiting for new GPUs to release, as I always tend to skip a generation. They added support for DLSS 4 with multi-frame generation for RTX 50 series GPUs, which boosts FPS by using AI to generate up to 3 times per traditionally rendered frame, which will be enabled with the release of new GPUs on January 30th. DLSS 4 also introduces faster single frame generation with reduced memory usage for RTX 50 and 40 series. Additionally, you can now choose between the CNN model and the new transformer model for DLSS ray reconstruction, DLSS super resolution and DLAA on all GeForce GPUs today. And because CNN and the new transformer model can be tested on my PC and on my 3070 Ti, I noticed that the new transformer model is a lot better than the previous one, being that it's a lot more sharper and it has less artifacts than the previous one, especially when it comes to the graining issues which were appearing on the CNN model. So honestly, if I were you, I would basically keep it on the transformer model, just because after everything like I've experienced here, going from like gunfires, just driving around, my frame rate was pretty much the same as with the previous model, but this is just a lot better and a lot sharper and honestly much better to look at. And as far as people told me right now, new features look really good image wise, but you can let me know down below in the comments on your experience with it. I'm actually really interested in hearing your opinion. With this, they also fixed artifacts and smudging on in-game screens when using ray reconstruction. And also frame generation field in graphics settings will now be properly reset after switching resolution scaling to off. As you can expect, these first changes are for PC only, but they do have other fixes that I will talk about shortly. In any case, I might have my opinions about the whole frame generation in general, but that's for another video. But it's good to see that CDPR is using all of the tech available for it, as Cyberpunk became sort of a benchmarking friendly game for most PC tech YouTubers. Now let's go back to another feature that received a lot of fixes and improvements, that being the new expanded photo mode, as it did sort of have a lot of bugs, at least for me, which are addressed here luckily. Now Nibbles and Atom Smasher can now be spawned while V is in the air or in water. They fixed the facial expression options for Atom Smasher and an issue where Smasher's glowing chest cyberware was missing. They fixed an issue where Johnny's alternative appearance was enabled on both options. To spawn him basically resulted in alternate look. Now characters will also be properly saved in presets, so that's good. I had this issue since 2.2 was released. Also, enabling a background will no longer change camera position, as well as rotating the camera will now work properly with background enabled, which is great. Most importantly, they fixed an issue where opening photo mode simultaneously with wardrobe or stash caused the game to become unresponsive. I didn't have this issue, but I know people reported this in my comments before. Now they also fixed some other minor photo mode issues related to spawned characters, camera movement, controls, and more, because a lot of those options were causing glitches with characters, as well as, trying to make a scene for an image. With also camera movement for me was kinda janky from time to time, and sometimes even restricting in a way, but now it seems to be okay. There are also other changes for photo mode that you can go throughout in the sources below, as most of that was smaller and it would extend the video for too long. Moving on to vehicle color customization, they fixed several texture and color inconsistencies for vehicles that have crystal coat applied, as we got a twin tone feature in the last update to get those designs for ourselves, which was cool in a way of basically increasing car customization in some way. They also fixed an issue where the explanation of the spray paint icon was missing in the AutoFixer tutorial pop-up after vehicle contract was complete, and fixes to several minor UI issues in the Crystal Coat and Twin Tone menus. When it comes to character creation and customization, randomizer settings in the character creation will now be preserved after advancing to the customize attribute step, which is very good. Piercing color option not being available in character creation after enabling piercings, if we initially had none, was fixed, so now you can do it. And as it was with previous features, they fixed other minor issues in character creation, including appearance options not applying correctly, visual clipping, inconsistent UI behavior, functionality issues after using the randomizer, and more. Moving on to console-specific changes, they fixed an issue where screenshots appeared as blank in gallery on Xbox if they were taken with HDR10 enabled. They also added a pop-up in the gallery to notify players when access to screenshots is blocked by console's privacy settings on Xbox. And also when it comes to Xbox, if there are any screenshots which are deleted outside of the gallery UI, will now be correctly marked in the gallery and will disappear from occupied slots after reopening the said gallery. And they fixed an issue where the graphics mode on Xbox Series X could be set to quality instead of performance by default. For the end, we have some miscellaneous fixes and changes, like run this town mission. They fixed an issue where under certain circumstances it wasn't possible to deactivate the Aguilar imprint after meeting with Bennett. I mean, we cannot have a patch for Cyberpunk without run this town mission having a fix. They also fixed several instances where Johnny could appear duplicated in the passenger seat during some quests when he was already present in the scene, and they also increased the likelihood of Johnny appearing more often. They introduced several fixes to NPC and vehicle behavior for various small events throughout Night City, meaning that if during those events AI breaks and car goes into a wall, for example, and stays there, or it doesn't trigger properly, well, this should help it now. They fixed an issue where some vendors were not interactable as intended, and the issue was fixed where voiceovers on TV news channels could be missing or too quiet, which is nice as this on PC could be fixed through mods, but sadly on consoles that wasn't the case and they had to wait for the patch. Issue was fixed where Quadra Turbo R VTEC used a description of Quadra Turbo R740 instead of its own unique one, and they fixed the missing 2.2 check and basically saying what's new pop-up in the main menu. As always, if you are using mods, keep in mind that you won't be able to start the game, so wait until core mods are updated and remod again with a clean installation of the game for best results. Or well, depending if you use mod manager, but in any case mods should be updated by the end of the day and tomorrow. Some have already been updated as this video is released. Overall, it's very nice that CDPR is updating the game again. I hope we see more and more of these patches from time to time, as they're now using a third-party company for that, which could really keep things interesting until we get closer to the Witcher 4 release. And as always, proper modding tools would always be great to have. I don't expect huge updates, but more in line with 2.2 and just adding some features here and there that could enhance the game itself. I think having more, hand cyberware, for example, for us to choose would be really nice and a very good feature, as you see your hands all the time in games, so why not? I will make another benchmark video and show the visuals when I get the 50 series GPU. Release is just around the corner, so I hope they will be in stock, but let's see how it goes. Let me know down below in the comments what do you think about patch 2.2.1. Do you like it? Do you have issues? And will you be going back to the game after this? Thank you for the recent support. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing and join our community on Twitter and Discord. Huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters, and as always, stay classy chooms. I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye bye.